right? I hear sleigh bells. It is that time of year. You realize that if someone who doesn't really, I'm going to turn these bells off because, woo, that could be a little much. Yeah. So anybody who's looking at us today is going to have no doubt in their minds what our show might be focused on today or what time of year it is.
Right.
Because I just don't bring reindeers with me to events very often. Especially very intelligent looking reindeers. Okay, so I am Dr. Charli, the book mama.
I'm Stephanie Palmer, the grammar queen.
And we are glad to welcome you to our Christmas Writers Therapy.
Yay.
Yeah, it's right before Christmas.
Yes.
And next week, Christmas Eve is actually on our Writers Therapy Day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is we just don't love you enough to make a show that day. So well, I'm joking. We do, but you can watch us again next Thursday. Show all the fam. Be very impressed with us, you know. And so anyway, so we're really glad to have everyone with us. We hope that you are sharing. We hope that you are, you know, telling all of your friends about us. If you have, if you're caught up, stuck writing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we are writers, therapists, self-proclaimed, of course.
Absolutely.
Not licensed by anyone at all. And so we just got to put that out there.
Yes.
So, so we're trying to look a little festive today. So my hat is so festive that my little dingle bopper or whatever, what is that? A tassel, a ball, I don't know. So anyway, it's so long that it's hanging down. And you have on your lovely, glitzy, glamoury antlers. Yeah. Even our producer is, you know, she's the elf, right? So she has an elf hat on.
That means we make a great team.
We do.
We make a great team.
Yeah. I get to boss everybody around because I have the Santa hat on. You have to do what I say because you're a reindeer. And the elf makes all the gifts.
So it looks like you got it easy.
Yeah. I picked the right hat, y'all. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so I have a special treat today that you can't see. I have to show you this. Look. Okay, so Stephanie's daughter made Christmas cookies. I love this. And I may actually eat them in front of you and make you kind of jealous today. They are super beautiful Christmas cookies. And what I love about the fact that Lakeland shared her Christmas cookies, your family's Christmas cookies with us today, is that they're a tradition.
Yes,
you actually posted that yesterday, like fourth generation. Yeah. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, my grandmother started baking them when I was a little girl. Mm-hmm. So we grew up, and then it's just always been my favorite sugar cookie recipe. So I knew as a little girl when I got older, I definitely wanted to incorporate that with my children. Right. So we've been doing it since Lakeland was probably about 5 or 6. I needed them to be able to, you know, do a little bit if they were going to help instead of me trying to keep the sprinkles on the table and not all over the house.
You can't keep sprinkles on the table. So that's against the law somewhere, surely.
So we've been doing it quite a while, and then we had actually made the dough, and she's been, you know, doing it, and we've been practicing. Like, you know, Darren always says we need practice rounds before we get to Christmas because he doesn't want us to get to Christmas and they not be good.
Darren just wants to make cookies.
Yes, that's exactly what Darren wants
to you. But.
So we've been doing it for quite a while. And yesterday, while we were at work, they were home from school, and she baked cookies by herself.
I know, and y'all, I cannot tell you how happy I am to be her guinea pig today. Yes, the whole office is really happy that Lakeland decided to practice on us. So thank you, Lakeland. You know, so Christmas traditions, sometimes they're really centered around food.
They are, a lot of them,
So, you know, I grew up in Cajun country.
Yes.
Yeah. And so our Christmas dinner is a little different.
Okay.
So we have crab and shrimp au gratin. Oh, it is so good. Have you ever had au gratin? So it's basically like cheese gravy with lump meat crab and shrimp in it, and you pour it over toast.
Oh, wow. That sounds really good.
It is so good you don't make it the rest of the year. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So it's really yummy. And so that's our Christmas tradition because, that was just our traditional Christmas dinner. In fact, my mother even kind of created her own recipe, and she won a couple of cooking competitions with her recipe. And so not only did my mother make it, but I make it. And then now my kids are learning to make it. So
that's awesome.
I love that. And fudge. My grandmother had the best chocolate fudge recipe ever on the planet ever. And you know why it was so good?
Wow.
Because you had to beat it by hand for
like
45 minutes. It's crazy, insane.
You get a workout. That's like burning
It
calories.
is. It definitely burns calories because you're going to inhale all those calories when you taste that fudge. And so that kind of got passed down through the traditions too. In fact, I talked to my sister last night. Shout out to April Mott if she's watching, because she made fudge last night. And I was a very happy sister.
Yay.
So, So traditions are really a big deal.
They are.
Especially this time of year. We get into a holiday season, and traditions are really, really prevalent this time of year, maybe even more so than other times. So do you know why traditions really matter?
Well, for me, they matter just to create the memories and to continue to do things that you have done with family members of the past. But I mean, I'm sure.
No, that's really not wrong. It's to reinforce values.
I like that.
Yeah, traditions help reinforce values, and they help strengthen bonds, especially amongst people, right? Okay, so we're totally distracted by our producer who's taking silly selfies. Okay, so, but traditions can reinforce values like freedom, faith, culture, education, work ethic, all kinds of different things. Yeah, and so that's one of the reasons that, traditions are such a big deal. So is there anything around Christmas that's like a big tradition for you that's not in the kitchen?
Yes. So we do, we get one gift on Christmas Eve, and I gift all of the children, and they already know what it's going to be. They don't know what it looks like, but they get pajamas.
I think quite a few people do that.
Well, I just don't want them looking a hot mess when we take pictures on Christmas morning. So that was where that tradition came from.
I love that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I looked back on the pictures and I was like, okay, we've got to do something different. And I even make Darren get pajamas too, because you need to coordinate.
I think the world of social media needs that picture.
Yeah.
That Darren Palmer point and grin with pajamas, Christmas pajamas on it.
Top with a Santa hat. He needs a Santa hat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. We are so good at throwing Darren and Palmer under the bus. With love. Always with
all
love.
The time.
Okay. So one of the things that traditions really support us, is different stages in life. Like the Santa Claus tradition, or some people go to mass, or they go to Christmas services at church or something like that on Christmas. There's just always that. So we actually had, and this is what I'm leading up to. This is a great big buildup, if you can't tell. Okay. So this is one of my favorite books ever of all time, The Cajun Night Before Christmas. So I know Stephanie's gone, never heard that, never read that. Oh my goodness.
Is this the same one and just a different cover?
No, this is The Cajun Night After Christmas.
Oh my gosh. Okay, my bad. I didn't read the title.
Okay, all right. So this is The Cajun Night After Christmas. All right. All right, there you go. All right, there's for all my Instagram peeps. Okay. And so there's also The Wingless Angel. That's one that I really, really love. And then The Nativity. So this is a really good Christmas book. And then I have a whole little library.
You do.
And then December. Yeah, and it's really good as well. Okay, so, but my all-time favorite is The Cajun Night Before Christmas. And if you look, the corners are torn and the pages kind of get stuck together.
It's
probably
well loved.
It is very, very well loved. Okay, so I actually heard this version of The Night Before Christmas before I ever heard the real
Really?
night before
And
Christmas.
that's my
I really
favorite.
did.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And so, again, it's a cultural thing, right? So I grew up in a very Cajun thick community in Southeast Texas that was right on the Louisiana border. And it was just very natural for us to have all things Cajun all the time. And so, we decorate with crawfish, y'all. We really do. All right. And so when I started having children, this book, somebody actually published this book after I guess about the time I was a teenager, and then, but the story was told the Cajun style long before that, and then we started actually reading it. So I got it, I picked it up, and when my kids were babies, that was the tradition at Christmas is I would read this book to them every Christmas Eve. And different people read different things.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So like you like the good old American in English, all the grammar queen likes her grammar correct.
Yes.
And in the original The Night Before Christmas, all the grammar's correct. In this one, not so much. Okay. So I think there's like a redneck Night Before Christmas, and there's, all that. So yeah, they kind of spooked it and went crazy with it. But so it's fun, and those traditions really mean something. So even now, my kids are big. So y'all, my kids are big. Okay. Like college football big. And are books about having babies. Mm-hmm. There are books about childhood milestones, losing your first tooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah. There's books about the birds and the bees.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not going to dig into that on here. There's books about death, like if you've lost a loved one. There's books about different holiday traditions, like not just Christmas. It might be about Kwanzaa. It might be about Hanukkah. It might be about Thanksgiving. It might be about Easter. It might help me out.
You were doing so well. Yeah.
I covered all the major holidays that I know of, and so I just wanted someone smarter than me to get all the others.
Our producer or other editor is not on live with you right now, so we'll just have to do that for another episode.
But they really do matter. So books can be part of your traditions. Absolutely. And that's the whole point. It's not just about food, although people who eat together typically have a better relationship.
Yes. Absolutely.
And it's not just about religion. It's really about tradition, and it's about reinforcing those values that we talked about. So what values do you think that you reinforce to your children by reading certain things to them at Christmas?
Aside from just giving them the overall message and making sure that they realize that Christmas is not about them, I think quality time is huge. That's one of the biggest proponents that I've seen that, we lose sight of with the technology age generation that we have. So being able to put the electronics down and really sit and just enjoy one another, just be in each other's company and be present. That's the true gift.
That is really the true gift. Sometimes we get really messed up on what Christmas is all about.
Yes.
And although I love the parades and I like the shopping marginally, and I don't like crowds. I don't like shopping in crowds.
Me either. Amazon is like my BFF right now.
No. She's my BFF. She can't be your BFF.
We can share.
I don't know if she's big enough for that. I'm joking.
Well, my shopping cart is going to have more than your shopping cart.
Probably. So, it's traditions really help teach a message.
Mhm.
And it's one of the reasons I love the book. So my children didn't grow up in that Cajun community. And that was so important to me that every year I would read this story to them because it became part of who they were,
Yes.
their foundation. And of course, the Christmas story. I mean, we do
Right.
that as well. But I read that story because I wanted part of my childhood to carry on. And that was such a happy memory for me. And so even later now over the years, like as reading situations have come up in school and different things,
Mhm.
my kids have taken my book.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they've read the
Yes.
Cajun Night Before Christmas to their classes or their friends or whatever. And so that just made my heart so happy. It was like the best
Yes.
Christmas present I could get because I was able to, propel that tradition. So, when you were talking about reading the Christmas story, do you read it or just Darren read it?
I typically read it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's there, but yeah. I mean, he has read in the past, but it's typically.
Okay, we want y'all to comment. Like, if there's a favorite Christmas tradition you have or a Christmas book, we would love to hear what those are because we want to share with you. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yes.
Well,
I was going to ask you, do you have your recipe for the
crab and shrimp au gratin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, girl.
Yes. So and I want to put that disclaimer out. So if you would like her recipe or even mine, we could possibly get that lined out for you if you want that. And then also a list of some of our Christmas favorites. So just reach out to us. And we would definitely love to share that with you.
Right. Yeah. And you can Google the Holy Bible. It's y'all, I have to be a little silly. So do you have a favorite? Okay, I have to be a lot silly because that's just who I am. Like it's like a little flop. Anyway, so do you have like a favorite Christmas memory? Or like has something happened like after you've become a mom that like, or I don't know.
My favorite Christmas memory, and I will never forget it. I don't even know how old I was, but I can tell you on everything that I really believed that I seen Santa going across the moon. I'm not even lying. I mean, it is so vivid. And then I just woke up so excited. I was at my grandmother's house. She had read she read to us as well. So a lot of the traditions that I
didn't look anything like a 757.
No. But I'm telling y'all, like I really, in my mind, I had to have been like 7 or 8. And we were at her house and I looked out the window for whatever reason. And then I just really, in my mind, believed that I had saw that. I don't even think I told anybody. So now I'm just announcing it. So yeah, I might need therapy after. So I think I seen Santa Claus going across the moon.
No. One of my favorite Christmas memories is actually with our kids. And it was actually one of the hardest Christmases I've ever had. Mm. It was really, really hard. So we didn't have a ton of money to spend on Christmas presents. I'm sure many people have been there. And it was just a situation where our kids were kind of going through a very selfish stage. Mm. And every time I approached them about what would you like for Christmas, I got really snarky, selfish answers. And it was really bad. It was genuinely bad. And I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do because it was very clear in my mind that what I spent my hard-earned money on, it wasn't going to be worth it. Mm. That no matter what I got them, it wasn't going to be good enough. It was going to be a disappointment. It wasn't going to be used. It wasn't going to be appreciated. And in fact, one of the children decided to make the comment, well, if you can't get me so-and-so, you might as well not get me anything.
Uh-oh.
That's a true story. And
we will not name names.
No, I'm not going to say which kid that was.
Tell me after the show.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, maybe I just shouldn't get you anything. But it was I just have to stress, it was very apparent that they weren't going to appreciate anything we got them. And so we actually had a Suburban that we had used for many years, and we had been trying to sell it and didn't have a lot of takers on it. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so we learned about an evangelist who needed a vehicle. He had a rather large family and several kids, that they only had one vehicle, and he was really starting to travel around more and everything. And Rodney and I God just laid it on our hearts to give him the title to the Suburban for Christmas. So, and that was the same Christmas time that we didn't have any money really to buy what the children would consider appropriate gifts. Okay. And so we just decided that their Christmas present that year was to learn to give instead of receive. It is the hardest thing. It was the hardest thing I've ever done as a parent, to not buy Christmas presents for my children. Oh my gosh. It was like ripping my heart out with a spoon. And so we didn't, though. We bought no Christmas presents.
Wow.
We got the kids up really, really early on Christmas morning. We told them what we were doing. We took them to the car wash. And I will say, kudos to my kids. They scrubbed and cleaned and detailed that Suburban like it was the top of the Chrysler building. And they got in the Suburban, and we went and we knocked on their door in Longview, Texas, and we gave it to that family.
That is awesome.
And the kids were so proud. They were so proud. They were giving tours. I mean, you would have thought it was some big expensive tour boat or something, you know, like a library that had to be toured. So they were, this is where this happened. And don't worry about this. We've cleaned it off. And they showed everything. They showed how the seats went up and down.
How old were they when they?
This was about 7 years ago. So they were preteen, teenager.
That's where my kids are right now.
Preteen, teen. Yeah, they were all about the age of what your kids are now. And so we did that, and they loved it. And they came home, and they looked under the tree. They're like, this really was our Christmas present, wasn't it? Like, you didn't get us anything. And we said, no, we really didn't, because you seem to misunderstand the reason for Christmas. And it broke my heart. It was so hard, y'all. And then a little bit later that night, one of the boys said, you know, Mom, I think this might be the best Christmas ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
huge lesson.
Yeah, it was a huge lesson. It was a huge lesson for me. Oh my gosh. It was so hard.
Yeah.
But we did it. We did it. And I think that the kids have had a different perspective of Christmas since then.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And so the tradition has changed significantly. So now they don't get a bunch of Christmas presents. They just get one or two. And the whole shift happened about, this is not what Christmas is about. And so I might get some nasty emails later about abusing children. But.
And that's where I am. Like my older children, they get it, and they already know. But the littlest one is, I mean, he adds to his list probably 3 or 4 times a day.
I know. It's like Santa has an unlimited budget.
Like,
right. I remember that. So anyway, I don't know why I shared that story, but it is probably one of my favorite Christmas memories. Oh, it stretched me. Yeah. It really stretched me. But we still read The Cajun Night Before Christmas that year.
I'd keep the traditions. Yeah.
We really did. And we had a great big breakfast. I remember we made a great big breakfast, and I did make crab and shrimp au gratin. And it was a regular Christmas. It just didn't have a lot of presents. So,
but it had y'all's presents. So
that
was the big thing. So that's awesome. Well, that you know, my story about the seeing Santa Claus on the moon didn't.
No. That doesn't. No, but everybody has their own things.
Yes.
You know, of course, that was much later in life. You know, I remember. Let's see. When I was a kid, I remember getting a trampoline, and it was too cold to jump on the trampoline. Yeah, and it had rained, and so it was like cold wet, you know, and we kept wanting to get on it. And we went out in our pajamas Christmas morning, you know, and we got soaking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. See, I don't do cold at all, but as a kid, you probably, didn't care.
No, as a kid, it
was all about
we really didn't care. Yeah. So, okay. So I really hope that we've had some visitors on Instagram. We haven't had a lot on Facebook this morning, but is there anything that you would love to add, a Christmas message that you would love to give all of the people that love writers therapy?
Just to, look for 2021 to bring great things, to just continue to create new traditions. There's nothing wrong with the old ones, but then incorporating new ones with your family as well. Yes, books. Yes, definitely. If you want, like I said, even if you want the list of books that she has, because she has a mini library, then we would definitely love to send those to you, because I know I will be seeing what I can do to get them as well. But just to continue to remember what it's all about. My shirt, shout out to Brittany, one of my friends, for making it. It's all about it's all about the love, joy, and the peace, and making sure that you're creating memories with the ones that bring you the love, joy, and peace.
Absolutely. And guys, just remember, be grateful for the moment. Be thankful for who you're with. Don't focus on who you're not with, and don't focus on what you don't have, because it's just easier to focus on what's in the moment. And there's always something to be thankful for. And we here at Self-Published in 30 Days and the co-stars and Writers Therapy, we wish you a very, very blessed Christmas and holiday season. Be safe and be filled with joy. And know that we love you and we appreciate you. And we will see you in 2021.
Yes.